Good rising, great awakening. Let me see if I can move this over here. Totally backwards. Okay. All right. Okay, good rising, great awakenings. My name is Tachia, and today we're going to do something different than I usually do because I need to get some of these things done. So what I'm doing today, some of the salves melted, and so I'm going to put them in these small jars for samples. So that's something I need to do. It's time to talk about herbs. So we've got, just yeah, okay. And I guess I'll just open. No, I don't have any. Just open one of these out. Okay, there we go. And then the skin one. I thought I had them all chosen already. Okay, so we don't have that one. All right. Okay, well, good rising, great awakening. I want to adjust my glasses just that fast. Yes, like I was saying, today we're going to be talking about herbs. Oh, it's Brother Patrick's Great Awakenings, Brother Patrick. I hope you're able to view the videos I made about the planetary alignment. So many wonderful things opened up for me and some of the other viewers during that time. I'm still in amazement right now of all the things that opened. And so next opening is the full moon's coming up soon, but then we're going to have the spring equinox. So I'm getting ready for that. But today I'm going to be taking, like I said, some of the salves that I made that melted and putting them in these little sample jars. So I could talk about the different herbs. They smell amazing, but it melted. Oh, so I guess I need to, here we go. Yeah, so this is the bone formula. It's got, I call it the triple goddess, which is coconut oil, shea butter, and olive oil. And it's just a formula. I haven't measured out. I just know when it's ready. I just add stuff and I know the consistency. But I get a lot of compliments on the consistency on how many of these have? Four, I guess three each. They love the consistency. They love the way it smells. You know, I get lots of compliments on it here. So the bone formula, the main, let's see, some comments. Constance Wu is here and Patrick's. Okay, yeah. So the main ingredient in these herbal formulas is comfrey. And I don't know if you've heard about comfrey. To the quote-unquote Native Americans, it's called knit bone. And, you know, a lot of people just think of it as a weed. However, it's really powerful herb. I know this because I injured my foot 3 times. I broke a toe 3 times. And I didn't go, actually I broke the, like if this was my foot instead of my hand, this bone right here was correct. This one and this one. And then the third time, my toe actually went under and dragged. What forks do you recommend for burning body fat? Brother Patrick wants to know about frequencies for burning body fat. Well, I'd have to do some research on that, Brother Patrick, but my first suggestion would be a very serious detox or a fast. And then from there we could work with frequencies. But that would be my first recommendation for burning body fat. Let me see. I mean, all I could do is a Google search. So but let's do a Google search. Because I keep threatening to start my next music project, which is all about frequencies. I just haven't started yet. So 855858. All right, so I'm just doing a Google search. Frequencies for burning body fat. I've never considered this before, so this will be interesting. Frequencies. I'm such a huge fan of fasting and detox. Okay, so this is an AI overview. Okay, but then they say that is, while there isn't scientific consensus on specific fat burning frequencies through sound or electrical current, some studies have explored the potential of high frequency current therapy for reducing abdominal obesity. However, these effects are controversial, and relying on such frequencies for weight loss is not recommended. Okay, so that's that. But then the very next one is fat burning frequency on YouTube, 295.8 hertz. So you could go check that out. It's here on YouTube. There's a fat burning frequency, calorie burning frequency, improved workouts frequency. Let's see what artist is this. Like I've never heard of this before, Patrick. But that is an artist called Meditation Healing Therapy. And they have several, they're all at 295.8 hertz. So, we'd have to find out why they said that was a fat burning frequency. But if that's what you're looking for, we could try it. Let's see. Then what you could do is, if you don't like that music, you could go to your tone generator. I have a tone generator on my phone. And then you could just plug in 295.8. Now what do you get? Okay, so I don't know. We'd have to test it. I don't know. That's not far from 285, which is the solfeggio frequency for, oh gosh, what is that one? I know 174. I can't think of 275. Let's see, 285. Hold on a second. Solfeggio. Oops. No. Solfeggio frequency 285. Okay. 285. They say it's a healing frequency. I don't know. Here we go. It will tell me. It just says heal and regenerates tissue. deep tone, promotes healing and regeneration of tissues. I don't know. I'm just getting familiar with the solfeggio frequencies. Let's see, what's this one say? Yeah, that's the one for that. Oh, it targets your energy field, helps in the fast healing of burns, fractures, sprains, cuts, and injuries. So that's $285, and then the one they said for fat burning is $295. So I don't know if that helps you at all, but sure is interesting. I never would have thought of that if you hadn't asked that question today. Okay. I know normally I'm talking about frequencies. Today I'm talking about herbs. They say that everything has a frequency, even these herbs. I wonder if someone has compiled a list of the frequencies for herbs. I was out on Sunday at a wonderful event, and there was a restaurant, well, some people cooking food, and called it alkaline plant-based food. And somebody asked me if my salves were alkaline, and I said, I don't know. And I told them the ingredients, and they says, well, all those ingredients are in fact alkaline, but then you have to check on each herb. And I'm like, well, that is just a little too much for me. I don't know if these herbs are alkaline. I don't know. Yeah. Okay, so in addition to talking about herbs, I talked about comfrey. I always talk about comfrey. That's the one that I know the best. I'm also very excited about the mounds tour. I'm not like visiting all the mounds at once, but at the equinoxes and solstices and the mid-seasons, I'm doing my best to get out there. So I've since learned that the mound at Schiller Park that I'm going to visit during the equinox was built by people at indigenous people at the American Indian Center. The first modern mound built in the past 300 years. And even though they're not our people building the mounds, like the Mississippian mounds or the Aboriginal mounds or the original mounds, I'm still going to go and honor them. They used it as a garden area, so they brought soil from different places, different sacred and tribal places, and quote unquote native plants, and planted them all around. So I'm planning to be there on the 20th at noon. Well, I'm looking to I'm checking in with my ride. I'm visiting 3 mounds during the 3 days of the equinox. Because I don't know, where is Winfield Mound? Maybe in the same direction. Let's see here. Winfield Mounds. I'm planning to visit the Schiller Park Serpent Twin Mound, a Confederate Mound memorial at the Oakwood Cemetery, located in the middle of my neighborhood, where we're not going to be honoring Confederate dead. Nothing personal. And then the third mound I'm going to visit is the Winfield Mound. So I'm looking to see, where's Winfield. Winfield, maybe it's Winfield's. Winfield Mound. Winfield Mound didn't show up. Mounds. Winfield Mounds. Okay. In DuPage County. That sounds like it's close to Schiller Park. DuPage. Well, no, the other one is Des Plaines. Okay, let me check the directions. Yeah, sorry, I'm taking a little tangent here. I'm planning my next mounds trip during the spring equinox. Okay, so I want to go from, it's an hour from where I live. Let's go, how is it from Schiller Park? Schiller Park Serpent Mound. Okay. Okay, yeah, so Yeah, I don't think I need to go on the same day. I'll find another way out there. So I'm planning to visit one mound on the 19th, one on the 20th, and another on the 23rd. That's my current idea. Yep. But anyway, back to the herbs. Let's see. So another herb in the formula. Let's see. The formula that I use for the bone wellness is Dr. Christopher's bone formula. I know he uses walnut bark. Walnut bark benefits. Okay. Here we go. Here's one. Black walnut bark. Black walnut bark has loads of antioxidants and tannins, making it good for throat, hair, and gut health. Used as tincture and teas to redeem its health benefits. Okay, let's see what else. There's some other. This is from AI Overview. Antioxidant, antimicrobial activity, and ability to help with toothaches. Walnut bark contains juglone, which has antiviral, antiparasitic, antifungal, antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, and anti-cancerous properties. Walnut hulls may help promote healthy digestion and gastrointestinal health. Toothaches. Walnut bark has been used for mechanical tooth cleaning due to its fibrous texture. Walnut bark contains potassium hydroxide, which may help whiten teeth. So walnut bark is good for the bone formula, but also for help prevent toothaches and tooth decay. So I need to add that to my tooth dental care. I make my own toothpaste. So, all right. And then let's see another herb that's in. So that's in the Dr. Christopher's formula. And then let's go to horehound. That is in the Chia formula. Horehound has been used as a vasodilator, which I don't know what that is, diuretic, and treatment for intestinal parasites. Initial animal studies indicate that horehound may have hypoglycemic effects and may influence bile secretion. The volatile oil of horehound has been reported to have expectorant and vasodilatory effects. I don't know what that is, but that's from a drugs.com website. Let's try to find an herb. Herbal. Okay, here we go. Buddha teas. Let's see what they say about it. So horehound is an herb that's in the Chia blends. Chia medicinal blends. Let's see. Many centuries ago, white horehound was crafted into an herbal tea by the ancient Romans. Today, though white horehound tea may be undervalued, it still has many virtues to offer any tea drinker. Natural source of antioxidants, offers essential vitamins and minerals, contains flavonoids and tannins, and that's more about the tea than the herb. Let's see, horehound herb benefits. Let's try herb benefits. Okay. This is still from like drug companies. Here we go. Peace Health. It's got to be more than talking about how it's a drug. Horehound is a perennial plant with small white flowers found growing in the wild throughout Europe and Asia. It's growing wild in Northern California. That's how I learned about it. This supplement has been used in connection with the following health conditions. It's an expectorant herb, meaning it helps loosen bronchial secretions and eliminates mucus. A long history of use for relieving coughs. A major active constituent increases the flow of saliva and gastric juice. Indigestion, heartburn, and low stomach acidity. Contains a constituent that may increase the flow of saliva and gastric juice to stimulate the appetite for loss of appetite. Yeah, so I found horehound because it was growing wild in my yard, and I just took the herbs that were growing like weeds and put them in a medicine wheel garden. And so it's one of the herbs that is in the salves that I'm making. So it wasn't that I chose it because of its properties. I chose it because it was growing wild in my yard. So I'm still learning about the herbs that are there. Let's see, I'm running low on these little sample jars, so I'm going to get some more. Next we go to the labels. Oops. Getting more labels has been on my to-do list for many moons. And I'm about to have to make it happen soon. How about any of the people that are still on the call? Have you had any, what have been your experiences with using herbs for healing? Like I came across this formula when I had injured myself. And I knew the herbs were powerful, and I just wanted a salve to apply to an injury. And then I was telling some people about it, and they wanted to buy the herbs from the garden. And I would go to festivals, and I would be selling Dr. Christopher's products. And somebody said, I should just be selling my products. And so that's what happened. So right now I'm cutting the labels because I didn't get labels printed for the sample jars. I haven't done that yet. Okay. So I'm just putting, like I said, these salves melted. So I'm just putting them in sample jars. And I don't have labels for the sample jars. Cut them up. Yeah, so, and also I'm curious, does anyone have any plans for the spring equinox coming up? What are you planning to do to honor the season change? Since I've been doing the spiral dance medicine wheel, I feel really satisfied that I've been doing it. It's very fulfilling for me. And it helps me keep in alignment with the Milky Way galaxy, because I think I've talked about how I've moved away from following the moon, and I'm more concerned with staying close to the galaxy. And I just feel better doing that. So does anybody out here have any plans for the spring equinox or the actual new year, which starts on April 1st? I plan to visit another mound on April 1st. I'll be in Indianapolis for at the Mound State Park. One thing that I have to find out about all of my upcoming trips is what is the policy on having sacred ceremonies at these sites, because I notice you have to get permits for this and permits for that. And Not that I'm going to do the ceremony either way. They're not going to stop me from doing the ceremony. Good rising, great awakenings. I'm just curious as to what is their policy for indigenous people to come and do ceremony at these so-called ancient Native American Aboriginal sites, especially the new one that someone just recently built. Like, what's the policy at the American Indian Center? So these are some of the things that I'm researching right now. And because when I went to Cahokia Mountains, I was scared about setting up at the first place that I was going to set up. I was actually like, oh my gosh, what if I get arrested for doing a ceremony? So then I went to a place where they wouldn't even see me. They wouldn't even know. The first place was right near their office headquarters. But that's what I'm planning on doing for the next year or so, visiting the different mounds. And some people say they're going to meet me. So it's a way of building the community. But again, I don't know how they'll view my presence, because I'm not claiming to be a Native American, claiming to be original American. So I know I've gotten some pushback on TikTok anyway, not on YouTube, but on TikTok. Okay, so yeah, I'm just putting the samples in these little jars, and I just give them away at events. And that's what I'm doing right now. If anybody has any questions about herbs, I've been using herbs for healing for almost 40 years now. I don't have a doctor. I go to the dentist finally. My ex-husband didn't even want to go to the dentist, and I wish that we had, because I did have some dental issues from not going to the dentist for 25 years or so. I guess 20 years. All right, so let's get this cleaned up. And anyway, when my girls were young, we didn't go to the doctor when they had health ailments. We just fasted, and we were vegan. We didn't really consume anything that caused health issues. I know one time we spent time with someone who later on told us that their child had chicken pox, and we didn't do the medical industry. She got one pox on her neck, and then other than that, she had symptoms of a cold, but nothing that warranted us taking her to the hospital or the emergency room or anything. But anytime something like that popped up, we just dealt with it herbally. So I didn't go to herbal school for training, but I did get herbal training on the run, just by living. All right, so the next one I'm going to do is the arthritis formula. The main proponent. Oh, I'm not sure if it's Tara or Tara. I think it's Tara, but it might be Tara. I've known Tara for many moons now, and I have to admit, I can't remember. I haven't seen her in forever. I can't remember if it's Tara or Tara. But anyway, the next one we're doing is the arthritis formula. And these are jars that melted, and so I'm putting them in sample jars. When they melt, it just means it's no longer whipped, because I whip it. And once it melts, it's not whipped anymore. So I'm putting them in here. And it's funny because I can't remember when I was out in the sun. It's been so cold. Maybe I left it in the window or something. Tara. Okay, it is pronounced Tara. Okay. So I thought so because of the turtles. I know there's something like terrapin or something. But anyway. So the arthritis formula, It has the tea chia proprietary blend. We talked about black walnut, and which is in the bone formula, and we talked about horehound, which is in the tea chia formula, and the arthritis formula. The main herbs are, well, the only herbs are turmeric and black pepper. Those are the main herbs, in addition to the tea chia blend, which has 9 herbs that were in my medicine wheel garden. Are they on here? I can't tell if they're on here. See if I remember all the herbs in the medicine wheel garden. Comfrey, horehound, motherwort, feverfew, peppermint, rosemary, rose, lavender, chicory. Those are the main ones that I can remember. Oh, skullcap. I think skullcap. Those are the main ones that I remember that were growing wild in my garden in California, and I just put them together and made these wonderful salves. So people want to know what makes my salve different from another arthritis salve or another bone formula salve. It's the tea chia proprietary blend. So that's what makes it different. And it kind of reminds me of how Dr. Christopher came up with his blend, his bone wellness. It's actually called Bone, Flesh, and Cartilage, or BF&C formula. Oh, thank you for the gift. And it heals bone, flesh, cartilage, tissue, muscle, tendon, flesh, hair. Yeah, 8 things. It's also called as a regeneration. And he got his formula when some woman came into his office with her child who was suffering from some weird condition that was causing the flesh to fall off of her bones. Not the skin, but the flesh. He described it as chunks of flesh were just falling off of her bones. And he said it took all of his composure to not let the woman know that he was like freaking out inside. And he said he didn't know what to tell this woman. So he prayed to the Creator for a formula, for something to say to this woman that would help her daughter. It was a teenage daughter. And the medical industry had only given her like another week to live. So it was just getting worse, and they couldn't do anything to help her. So he prayed to God for an answer, prayed to his Creator. And he got it like a down, when you get a download of something. He said he got a download for this formula. He wrote it down on a piece of paper, handed it to the woman. He said, try this. And so she tried it, and when she came back a week later, the condition had started to reverse. She wasn't cured, but it wasn't getting worse, and she wasn't dead. And then by the end of the month, it was cured, and she went on to have a normal teenage years and life without losing all of her flesh. And so that is the formula that became Dr. Christopher's bone, flesh, and cartilage formula. That's the one that's included in the green label tea chia products. You can get them at my website, lightbeingwellness.com, or at events like the one I'm doing tomorrow. And so I've known several people that have had amazing results with the formula. I told you about mine. I broke my toe 3 times. It takes 6 months for a bone injury to heal. And as soon as when the first one healed, I broke it again. And the second one healed, I broke it again. Third one healed. First time it healed, I broke it again. Second time it healed, I broke it again. Oh, my phone's not plugged in. Hold on a second. And then the third time it healed, I didn't break it again. That's why I got confused. And that's when I came up with making the salves, when I broke it. Okay, see if this will work. But another condition. There we go. Okay. Oh, I made tea. Where's my tea? I made a cup of tea. Oh, here it is. Oh my goodness, I drank the whole thing already. Her daughter was sitting on a counter. She was 3 years old, and she fell off the counter and chipped a tooth. And the dentist said, "Oh, don't worry about it. She's young. That's a baby tooth. She'll be fine. When it falls out, an adult tooth will grow in, and it won't matter." But when she turned 13, it hadn't fallen out yet, but it had become infected. And so the dentist, did an X-ray and learned that the bone had rotted away in her gums, and they wanted to put in a metal plate in her mouth. And the girl was like, "No, Mom, no, don't do that. I'll do anything. I'll drink the tea," because it's kind of bitter. And so they went home, and Mom brewed the tea formula, and good rising divine masculine, and made made some clay with the bone formula and applied it to her gums. And every day she drank the tea, and they changed they reapplied the clay with the tea. And when they went back to the dentist, I don't know if it was a month or 2 months. I can't remember that detail of the story. But when I went back to the dentist and did another X-ray, the dentist was like, "This is impossible. The bone has grown back. She won't need this metal plate. I need to do more tests, more X-rays." And they're like, "Nah, that's okay." So that was one miraculous story. And then the other one is my other friend. We were all studying herbs together. And so another friend in the little group, we were soccer moms, but this soccer mom decided she wanted to join the parent soccer team. So on her first soccer game, she falls and breaks her arm in 2 places. And the doctor's like, "You need this special kind of cast. It's going to have these pins sticking out. You have to wear it for 6 months. You have to change it and da-da-da-da-da." And she's like, "No way. I got stuff to do. I got to drive my kids around. I got my massage practice. I got homeschooling. There's no way." So she made a lot of tea, like a gallon of tea every day. And she drank it all day. And she soaked cloth in the tea and made her own casts. And, she just kept living her best life. And when she went back to the doctor, same thing. "This is impossible. There's no fracture. There's no breakage. This is impossible. What did you do? Da, 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 da. We need to do more tests, do more X-rays." And she's like, "No way. I got stuff to do. I got to go. I got stuff to do." And so there was no fractures, no breakage, nothing, in 2 places where she broke her arm. And then the third case is the person that was teaching the class. Her father was, I think he was 93, and he was still really active, building things and adding the second story onto her house. It's like, and he had just finished building a rain cistern to collect rainwater. I hope I'm like that when I'm 93, or just half that way. And so he was putting in the second story of her house, and he fell off of like a 40-foot ladder and broke both wrists. He was 93, both wrists. Oh, what am I doing? And usually at that age, when you break a bone, that's, I hate to say it, but that's usually the beginning of the end. You hear of elders that fall down and break a hip, and then they're not with us much longer. But they did the bone, kind of the same thing. They wrapped a cloth in the bone formula, soaked the cloth in the bone formula, and wrapped his wrists and with the bone tea, and he drank the tea, and his injuries healed, and he went on to live out, the remainder of his life, and died of natural causes at age 97, not from falling from a 20-foot ladder at age 93, but he died at 97. So those are the 3 stories that introduced me to the herbs. Dr. Schultz? I think we also studied Dr. Schultz. This was before I knew about Dr. Sebi and Dr. Africa. These are American herbalists. Or not American. These are people of the North Herbalists. And he was telling the story of how he found Dr. Christopher's formula. He was, I don't know what he was doing, some sport. And he injured himself and broke his kneecap. And they wanted to put in a metal kneecap, a fake kneecap. He's like, no way. And so he did drink the tea, soak the cloth in the tea, knee with the cloth you soaked in the tea. His kneecap grew back because when he injured it, he went to the doctor and they said his kneecap was shattered. They couldn't reconstruct it. They could only put in a metal one. But his kneecap grew back. So, and I can tell when I need to drink the tea, when I make it, I drink it until it's all gone. The problem is I don't make it right away, another batch. So I need to make more of the tea. So that is the arthritis formula. So what I'm doing right now, for those of you who are just tuning in, I see people are still tuning in. I'm taking herbs the salves that I make. And people ask me, how can they support the temple? You can support the temple by buying a jar of tea tree medicinal salve. Some of them melted, so I'm putting them in sample jars right now. That's what I'm doing. I should get another spoon. Oh, I might have this side. Okay. So yeah, so what, if any of you on the call had any no way, no surgery, herbs of the earth heals the nation. Yes, exactly. Thank you for picking that up. The bone formula, Dr. Christopher's bone formula, which is the same herbs that I use in my salves, but my salves have a additional proprietary formula. But yes, it regrew a bone in the kneecap. It regrew the bone in the girl's gums. It healed the wrists of the L senior. When I broke my foot, I soaked my foot in the tea. They also have bath salts, soap, shampoo, conditioner, scalp oil, massage oil. You can get different forms of Dr. Christopher's formulas, and you can get them at my website, lightbeingwellness.com. But yes, I definitely highly recommend you try this formula. Even if you have something like an ulcer or in your womb, in your uterus, or any growths anywhere, I definitely recommend working with this one. I know there's all kinds of formulas, but for this in particular, it's bone, nerves, tissue, tendon, muscle, cartilage, hair, flesh, and skin. So I know a lot of times when you look up the herb comfrey, they give it a bad rap. They say you shouldn't use comfrey because it was declared unsafe by the FDA. So your first reaction would be, if the FDA says it's no good for me, then it's got to be good for me. I'm gonna get it. So that's the first, green flag. The FDA says don't use it. And then when you look into why they say you shouldn't use comfrey, it's because they fed it to rats and they had a negative reaction. So you're like, oh, that's terrible. Then you read, well, I want to know more about the test. Well, they fed rats 800 times the amount of comfrey that it was a rat that you should take. It might have even been 8,000. It was ridiculous. Like, who would drink 800 cups of comfrey tea in one day and not expect to have an adverse? I think if you drank 800 cups of water in one day, you'd have a negative reaction. Do you have good skincare, goddess? I'm middle-aged, losing collagen. Okay. Well, I'm 63 and people are always amazed at my skin. I don't know. I do have wrinkles and I do have bags under my eyes, but I've had these circles under my eyes since I was an infant. I've been told they're like a trait of being Lakota. So I don't feel too bad about them, but I do look at them. But for my skincare, I drink water, purified water. I don't know if I drink enough water, but I drink a lot of water and herbal tea. I don't drink soda. I don't drink bottled juice unless it's just for making smoothies because I don't have time or the means to make enough juice to keep up with smoothies. I've been vegan for almost is it 40 years? 37, 38. It might be 40 years. It might be 39 years. I've been vegan for over almost 4 decades. I get lots of sunlight, not so much in the wintertime. Like when I look at myself now, I see myself as pale because I like it when my skin has been kissed by the sun more. Um, but as far as my skin regime, I've been using these products from Alf. Is it Al? What is it? Alhara, Athara. Let's see. But not every day. Just when I make time for it. Let's see. Athara, Athara. Yeah, Athara Pure Natural Skin Products. Athara. I use their Moroccan Coffee Eye Cream, but I rarely make time for it. I use their Indian Glow Face Scrub, which I love. And I love their Pink Lotus Hydrating Balm and the Seaweed Algae Mermaid Face Mask. But I don't use them very often, like once a month, once a year. I rarely remember. So most of the time, I just use all natural soap and I use the Tichia Basti Blend salve. I use it for my skincare. And so that's coconut oil, olive oil, shea butter, and all these herbs I've been talking about. I don't know if I'm losing collagen or not. Um, I don't know. Okay, good. I hope that puts you and heads you in a good direction. It's Athara. There we go. Like Athara Pure. I don't know if they're on TikTok. I should see because I can make videos for them. Athara Pure. I was trying to get the website. There we go. AtharaPure.com. And I read you all the ones that I use. And then also I noticed one summer I was getting like brown spots on my face, sunspots, and I found this great product. Hold on a second. All right. Yeah, I use this product, Glory. I don't know and it's all natural. I've barely used any of it, and I've had it for years. I don't know if you can see. I've had it for a few years now, and it's not rancid or anything yet. But I've been using that in the summertime when I was getting like too much sun. Not that it was too much, but not too much for me. But my daughter recommended I try something, so I did that. And then sometimes, like this bottle is empty almost. I use this Dr. Woods Black African Soap Facial Cleanser. It's just liquefied black soap. And when I make time, I use that. And it was this, and then I have this one other product that's like vitamin C. What is it? Wasn't expecting this. Yeah, I really like this product too. This is Insta Natural Vitamin C Serum. I really like using this product. Uh, but again, I don't use them every day. I just, when I feel like I need to do my self care, I use those. Yeah, I should. I'll see if they're on TikTok. I haven't been very consistent with all of that stuff, so it's a good idea. I spent 2 years trying to figure out how to get my salves on the TikTok shop, and then after 2 years of customer service going back and forth, all these things, then I learned that I was supposed to be approved by the FDA, and there's no way I was going to go through all that. It was at least $500 or something. So I'm just going to keep going at it this old-fashioned route. Got a lot of things to do, but the salve it's really pleasant to use. People love the consistency. It just kind of happened one day. I don't really have the amounts. I just know, like when you're cooking, how much to add, how much of this to add, how much of that to add. But if somebody asked you how much is it, you'd be like, I don't know. But it comes out perfect every time. So that's how it is for me with the salves. So I need to make some more. I've been selling some. Now that the weather is getting warm again, there'll be lots of events, outdoor events. I'll be starting up Frequency Friday again soon. I don't know when. You know how it is in Chicago. It was 58 degrees this morning, but it's going to be 34 degrees at like 5 o'clock. The temperature is dropping so rapidly. And then it's going to be in the 30s and 40s and 50s. And then on Saturday, it's going to be 68. Friday, it's going to be 68. And then it'll go back down. So I don't know when Frequency Friday will start up again, but it will. It's starting up again. Yep. So does anyone else have any questions about herbs or these salves, flower essences? I know I have an appointment at 4 o'clock, so probably going to be called away here really soon. I meant to get here earlier. I don't know. I don't know when I will be able to be back consistently with going live, like every Monday at 8 a.m. or every Thursday at 10 a.m. because it just doesn't ever seem to go that way. Things just happen to come up. So I'm just grateful when I can. Oh, thank you. Thank you for expressing gratitude for the information. I'm so grateful that I found out about herbs. I can't even imagine living without having herbal healing. I'm so used to it now. It's just like second nature. But my first experience with herbal healing came after, of course, an herb that I can't mention his name publicly. I got introduced to that herb, and then I got, going to hear reggae music, and then I got a job at Whole Foods restaurant, their first restaurant, and then what happened? This is all after I dropped out of grad school, and then one thing led to another, and then I got a job at this naturopathics clinic. I don't even know why they hired me. I didn't know anything about herbs at that time. But then he took me to this used bookstore and bought me all of these herbal books and, healing books. And so then I learned about, what's the name of his book? Back to Eden, Jeffro Kloss. I just bruised my tailbone. Anything you can suggest. Uh-oh, my phone's dying. Oh, no, it's been an hour. Hold on a second. Yes, cracked your tailbone. That happened to me once when I was playing soccer. I went to my first goal. I slipped and fell and cracked my tailbone. Yes, the herb I was talking about, comfrey or really I suggest Dr. Christopher's bone formulas, BF&C bone formula, or what's the other one? I don't know what else, bone flesh and cartilage, I don't know, but it's Dr. Christopher's bone formula. You can please get it from my website at lifebeingwellness.com, but you could get it anywhere. I recommend you get the tea, the dry tea leaves, or I can make it for you and send it to you in a bottle. And you get a big jug of it, and every day you apply a compress, like get a cloth that you don't need for anything, soak it in the tea while it's warm, put it on your back, on your tailbone. You can lay down on your tummy, get a heating pad, and then drink at least a cup of the tea every day, and then apply my bone formula salve. It has not only Dr. Christopher's herbs, but it has the tea chia proprietary blend and Basti blend, which makes it something you won't get anywhere else, unique. Apply that after you're done with the bath, with the soaking. Then you can also get Dr. Christopher's bath salts, soak in the bath salts. You can get soap. You can get skin oil. If you don't want to use the salve, you can get just skin oil. You can get shampoo, conditioner. You want to get as much of the formula in your system as possible. The main herbal ingredient is comfrey. So, you could probably find a solution there too. But of course, I'd love for you to get it from me at lifebeingwellness.com. I have another comment. I wonder if the comfrey salve would be good for my fibroid. I've been feeling like I need something to support it when I have flare-ups. Yeah, it definitely would. In fact, another formula I'm going to make is a womb wellness formula with herbs exactly for that. I was talking to someone about shrinking these tumors. You could use sound, you could use tuning forks, you could use crystals, use visualization, definitely herbal formulas, herbal teas, comfrey, rejuvenation, healing the flesh, right? All those things. But yes, definitely you can eliminate fibroids with herbs. Usually when we have growths in our wombs, it's it's an energetic. It's not just a physical ailment. It's something in your past. And usually if it's with a womb, it's with a past. It's not charging. A past partner. And you haven't healed from the incident yet. A past partner, you haven't healed from the incident yet. It looks like this phone is down to 10%. I don't know why it's not charging. Well, actually, I believe it is 4 o'clock, right? And I'm supposed to stop at 4. So I guess I will stop here, and we'll just stop here. I'm grateful that you all were able to sit with me while I was putting these sample jars together, and that some of you had questions that I could answer. We got another comment. Wondering about something for kidney, liver, cysts. These are definitely energetic ties because I've tried everything. Acupuncture, I'm vegan. I quit drinking Chinese herbs, light therapy. Well, I would suggest sound healing and visualization as well. Like when I was studying at that first clinic, they would tell women to just visualize the issue or the pain or the cyst, or the issue that caused the pain, the issue that caused the cyst, and just see it shrinking every day, getting smaller and smaller. And I know they help so many women that way. Let's see. Kidney, liver cysts. Yes, I'm sure by now that you've done a kidney flush or a liver flush. or both. This is the perfect time of year to start this type of detoxing regimen during the spring equinox. I'm going to do a 5-day detox. I do a 21-day detox at the summer solstice, but at the seasons, I do 5 days. And there's so many doctors and healers to study with. I still use Dr. Schultz's at the American Herb Doc. Oh, this is the wrong cord. Yeah, TikTok. My phone's about to die. And so they have a wonderful kidney, gallbladder detox, and then a liver detox. So you definitely want to do that. And then, like kidney issue that deals with emotions, unprocessed emotions, sadness, the water, the heart. And then liver, that's like anger, where anger is stored, frustration is stored. So you have to also look at your emotional, what is it? Can't think of the word, constitution. Like, are there any issues you haven't been able to let go of or you haven't been able to process? And, doing like forgiveness, journal writing, things like that. There's something that you're not processing, something that happened, you're still angry about, or you're still emotional about. And so when you do physical detoxes, you have to be aware that you can also be healing it from the spiritual or energetic level. So, but if you want to like have any further discussions about this, Tara, you know how to find me. Constance, I believe you should have my email address by now, but I'll type it in here. But I would definitely work with Dr. Christopher's regeneration tea, or my tea blend. I call it rejuvenation tea. So it's like a blend of regeneration and rejuvenation. And you can get the tea chia tea in just tea from herbal form. You don't have to, it's not only in salves. You can get it in tea, you can get it in oil. What I've been doing lately is combining the two formulas. Someone told me that that is also really effective when when you just have the dry tea leaves, because that's what makes these so special. So that's what makes the herbal complex of Dr. Christopher's bone tea and tea chia's medicine wheel tea. So that's another thing I'm working on. But anyway, thank you for joining in today. I don't know when I'll be going live again. I thought I was going to go live this morning, and I just jumped on here because I knew I wanted to, but I booked this other meeting at 4:00, so I have to run now. And I really appreciate your support, and I'll see you again really soon. I know Friday I'm going to be at the lake, so maybe I'll go live from there. Thank you for sharing the love, Dua Hatep. Thank you. Peace. Okay. Okay. Oh, it wasn't even plugged in all the way. Fancy that. Oh. Okay, now it's going to end.